The problem with another debate is that it's just too late. Voting has already started. She's had her chance to do it with Fox. You know, Fox invited us on, and I waited, and they turned it down. But now she wants to do a debate right before the election.
I'm Vince for RTM News. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. So, despite furiously claiming that she is winning, Kamala Harris has spent the past several weeks demanding a second presidential debate with Donald Trump, and that is not typically the behavior that winners engage in, right?
Why won't you commit to a second debate with Kamala Harris if you believe?
A second debate because she lost tonight very badly. So they immediately called for a second debate because they lost. So we'll, think about that. But she immediately called for a second. Look, we're looking at polls. We're looking at polls. The worst poll that we've had was 71 that I see, 71% to like 24 or 25%.
And that's exactly the thing. You don't demand another debate when you believe you're winning. The fact that they immediately wanted a second debate indicates that the Kamala Harris campaign from the get-go either believes that they lost the first presidential debate or that she did not really do enough to win. But when you really break it down, it wouldn't surprise you that much like everything else the Kamala Harris campaign does, this whole act is largely performative, and that is especially true with the latest news. This just in today, the Kamala Harris campaign has accepted a CNN invitation for a presidential debate on October 23rd in Atlanta, Georgia. And there's just a couple of problems with that, which is, first of all, suddenly now you're running around claiming you want to debate Trump. It's Donald Trump who is scared to debate. But let's not forget the initial fact that it is Kamala Harris who refused to do both the Fox News debate and the NBC debate that was proposed in September. And now suddenly she wants to do another debate. What exactly is up with that?
That, of course, Kamala Harris announced this morning that she's running from the Fox News debate. And what a disgrace it is for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to talk tough, but then to run from the American people's questions, to run from these debates. I think if you want to be the vice president or the president, you ought to do as many debates as you can, because that's an opportunity to actually talk to the American people and make your pitch to them. My approach for the one debate that it looks like I'm going to have with Tim Walz is just to keep it focused on policy. This is a guy who supported the rioters in Minneapolis as they burned down that city to the ground. This is a guy who supported policies that would defund the police, that have raised the price of groceries and of energy for American families. And I just want anybody who watches that debate to come away with it with a recognition that I know what it's like to deal with some of the problems and some of the bad policies of Kamala Harris, and we're going to make things better if the American people trust us with the opportunity to do so. And so,
but here is, of course, the biggest glaring problem with this proposed October 23rd Georgia debate. It's not just the fact that, Kamala Harris back then didn't want to debate, now suddenly she does, and she's going to act tough and claim Trump is scared. No, the biggest problem is that by October 23rd, think about this with the timeline, a lot of the country has already voted. Right? We know, because largely of the electoral system that the Democrats have called for, early voting starts, I believe, in the majority, if not close to all U.S. states by the time of October 23rd. And I look specifically at the fact that this debate is supposed to be in Atlanta, Georgia. I was very curious about this, so I did some research. You have to be registered to vote in the state of Georgia by October 7th, and early voting starts statewide on October 15th. They want to do a presidential debate when a lot of Americans have already casted their ballot. How exactly does that make any sense? Folks, it doesn't. Like I said, the entire thing is pure theater. This is not a serious debate request where we really want to sit down with Trump and make our cases to the American people. No, literally the entire point of it is the theater. So that way they can run around saying, oh, look, we're trying to do a second debate. Donald Trump is scared, even though nobody will watch the second debate. And a lot of the people who do will have literally already voted in the election. The whole thing is pointless. It's empty. It's fake toughness as usual from the Harris-Walz campaign.
Kamala and her group have seen what's happening to their campaign, and it's not going well for them. And they would like, just announced a little while ago as I was coming off the plane, they would like to do another debate. Although, good entertainment value. A lot of people say, oh, do it, it's great entertainment. I've already done two. One with Crooked Joe Biden at CNN and the other one with Kamala on ABC. CNN was very fair, I thought. Joe was driven out of the race. It was a coup, by the way, but he was driven out of the race. And they've been widely criticized by the radical left lunatics for all of the fairness. They were very fair. In other words, they won't be fair again. The problem with another debate is that it's just too late. Voting has already started. She's had her chance to do it with Fox. You know, Fox invited us on, and I waited, and they turned it down. But now she wants to do a debate right before the election with CNN because she's losing badly. You know, it's like a fighter. She sees the pulse. She sees what's happening. She's losing badly, but it's like a fighter who goes into the ring and gets knocked out. The first thing he says is, I want a rematch. I want a rematch.
Yeah, exactly my point. You're running around demanding a second debate, but you turned down the first several ones that would have actually been at consequential times in the election. And now a lot of the first ballots are already starting to go out in this country. And suddenly now, right before the election, when a lot of people already have voted, you're demanding a second debate. The whole thing is totally performative. And yet still, I'm sure they're going to use it as theater to run around claiming that Trump is scared, despite the fact that Kamala Harris, as we know, is not only a campaign that is refusing to take interviews, but now we have the news that Kamala Harris will be skipping the Al Smith charity dinner in New York, the same one where Trump roasted Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer back in 2016. Remember this whole thing?
With all of the heated back and forth between my opponent and me at the debate last night, we have proven that we can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me." And I very politely replied, "Let me talk to you about that after I get into office." Thank you, Al. Wow. That was good. This is a hell of a dinner. Well, I want to thank Your Eminence. This is really great to be with you again. We love it. Governor Cuomo, our great senators. Hi, Chuck. He used to love me when I was a Democrat, you know.
So she's scared to do the TV interviews because she might get exposed by a hard question from a journalist. She's scared to go back and forth in a friendly fashion with Donald Trump at the charity dinner that a lot of past candidates have done. But she's so tough because she wants to do a debate with Trump way too late when the election has essentially already started. Yeah. Okay, it's, again, total theater. That said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Do you think Trump should accept this CNN debate, or do you think, frankly, like he says, it's just way too late, it's pointless, it's meaningless, Kamala Harris already had her shot? Or do you think maybe there's another reason why Trump should say yes? Let us know, and until next time, I've been Vince with RTM News. Peace.